Good afternoon, friends. A very warm welcome to our Business Opportunity Over Chai. And this special edition Business Opportunity Over Chai will help you to understand the greatest business opportunities that we Franchise India specially brings for you. Business Opportunity Over Chai presented by management team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Malia, Chairman at Franchise India Group, and Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, MD at Franchise India Brands Limited. Every day, 12 o'clock, we launch a new brand to explore new business opportunities. Today, we have invited a UK-based brand, flipout. Flipout is a well-established adventure park brand with a strong global reach with locations in over 10 countries worldwide, including Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, Malaysia, and many more. Out Trampoline Arenas offers an exciting prospect to enter the world of active entertainment and fitness-oriented fun. As a franchisee, you can tap into a popularity of the park and provide a thrilling experience to the visitor of all ages. To know more about this business opportunity, we have invited the team of Flipout. But before inviting them over the headline, I would like to hand over the stage to Venus Barak, CEO of Brand Global. Over to you, Venus.
Thank you so much, Harshika. Good afternoon, everyone who has joined us now. We are also live on Facebook, and good morning to our friends from the UK. So I welcome everyone on behalf of Brand Global and Franchise India. First of all, I have to thank the team of Franchise India Brands who do this every day and launch one brand every day from last 3.5 years. I think it's an incredible achievement. And again, we are privileged to host this session. So I'm Venus Barak, and I'm the CEO of Brand Global. So Brand Global, we are a market entry firm, and we predominantly work with international brands and give them a headway into Indian market and other markets like Middle East and so on and so forth. So today's session is an important one for us. So today I am in front of you as a master franchise partner for Flipout for India. First of all, we are privileged to have this partnership. And I think I personally, and of course our team know Flipout from a very long time. It's one of the most, I would say, recognized brand into what we call the adventure park, athleisure space. And they have incredible experience building the brand across different territories. And in India, I think the reason of our partnership is because the way the Indian market has kind of is turning around, and the need for concepts which engage with children, with young adults, families, we see this particular category growing very fast because the infrastructure is coming up, whether it's malls, whether it's corporate parks, but the need for indoor especially, I think that's a very important point, indoor entertainment, adventure, athleisure spaces, I think it's seeing a lot of boom. Right now, there are, I think you and I, we can count on our fingers what brands are there. So Flipout, with its rich experience working across the globe, is to bring in the best in the business, brand, concept, experience. And what we are looking for is partners who understand this business first, and then second, to build what we call a business which is based on engaging with children, and of course scale as well. So on that note, let me welcome the Flipout team. Good morning, everyone. So Richard.
Good morning. Hi. Good morning.
Richard Bassi is the owner of Flipout. We also have Matt. Matt is the CEO, and we have John, who is the director for franchise development. So I'm glad that you could join us in at such a morning hour. But welcome, and we look forward to hear from you.
Yeah, great. It's a pleasure to be here today, Venus, and to speak to everybody. We are incredibly excited about the potential of India, and especially at this early stage now, because we see India very similar to the marketplace and the landscape that we had in the UK about 5-6 years ago. 5-6 years ago, trampoline centers and adventure parks of this style did not exist. And it was very much a gold rush when we came to market. Flipout was one of the first companies to come overseas from Australia, where it originated from its humble beginnings in a car park in Australia. And we did very, very well. We had a huge interest from franchisees in the UK. We managed to generate, just in investment alone, around about 46 million over a 36-month timeline in terms of our growth. And we just pushed as hard as we could. We knew we had a strong brand. We were innovating faster than anyone. We were signing up property deals faster than anyone, because we knew a lot of people would try and jump onto this sector because it was, as I said, very new. But also trampolining and adventure parks, you know, it's a very universal activity. You know, a lot of individuals, doesn't matter where you're from and what backgrounds, people love, you know, jumping on trampolines. People have to entertain their children. And for many, many years, it's been the same type of activity, from bowling to cinema, and it was ready for a change. And it was staring everybody in the face. So we raised a lot of money very quickly. But also, we've also been very, very effective in innovating our products as well, because we originally just started off as trampolines, as I mentioned, and it was really a sea of trampoline beds, which is fine. You know, people really enjoy it. But would that mean that you'd want to come back 2, 3, 4 times? Maybe not. And we wanted to differentiate ourselves from the rest of the competition. So we started to bring in new activities, from super slides to laser tag, to then bumper cars, to large interactive assault courses. So we try and use technology where we can as well. And this then allowed us to break away from the crowd and really evolve into this all-encompassing, very exciting adventure park offering, which meant that there were so many activities people could come back and back again. Now, also, in terms of our brand, I would say now we are one of the largest trampoline adventure parks in the world. Okay, there's only one other brand in the United States that are bigger than us. We do have eyes fixed on the American market, but it is quite established. So we are looking at more emerging markets, and that's obviously why we're here talking to you guys today. But in terms of brand, if you look around, do your searches on the internet, you will not see, I think, someone as dynamic and immersive as what we are. The whole experience was branded for to be like children are coming into almost like a live comic book. That's why we use a number of characters that you see. We spray our walls, you know, from top to bottom with dynamic displays of you know, fun, and you know, we have a strong colors that we use as well. So we're not therefore just an activity, we're actually an experience for these children. You know, some of the children we have, they'll never get to go to Disneyland, they'll never get to go to some of the big theme parks. They simply don't have the money. So this is an affordable way that they can really escape from everyday life for an hour or two, you know, and not just go to a generic, you know, play center. This is a complete escapism for them. And, you know, I've seen many children, almost every time that I go, I will see a child almost shaking with excitement and sort of saying, this is the best day of my life. You know, you'll see this time and time again. And that's why it's a beautiful business. You know, I just love the fact every day I can see families enjoying themselves. They're coming together. You know, these children are being taken away from the internet. We're having good, wholesome fun, but let's not forget as well, Venus, the health aspect of all this. You know, these children are going in there and they are running around, you know, from top to bottom, every inch of that arena, and they're burning a lot of calories. And we've done a number of fitness incentives with schools in the UK. And we've joined up and we've given them discounts, you know, sort of almost PE lessons, physical educational lessons, where it's a reduced price in midweek when a lot of children are at school.
Sure.
You know, this was picked up by the press quite a bit as well. So we have all these different incentives and schemes that obviously we can give any franchisee coming on board. And just to add as well that, you know, we've now been in the UK for 6 years. We've got a large franchisee network. You know, I was originally a franchisee myself. I grew from one franchise to two, then ended up having the opportunity to buy the UK master and then bought the global rights. So I'm very far into this, everything that, my whole life is immersed into flipout. And I can understand what a franchisee is looking for and what a franchisee wants. So, in terms of, do you guys need a blueprint of how to make money? You want to just get in there and operate, a really dynamic, profitable business. We can give you that blueprint. The infrastructure, we've been working on the infrastructure for many years. We've got a fantastic team, which in particular Matt has spearheaded and built. And we know we can do this globally and not just in the UK. Our systems have been refined down to to ultra efficient levels. We've got the knowledge, we've got the marketing know-how, and most importantly, we've got the support to be able to help your business. Even designing the business, we will help with all of these aspects, and with Fran Global, who I know have an excellent support network to make sure that you guys are getting a strong return. But I can't stress how excited we are to move into India. And you hit the nail on the head, Venus, with the fact that there are a handful of sites. I mean, there's over 150 in the UK. There's probably over 500 or more in the States. India's is I don't know if it is now or it's close to being the second most populated country in the world. And you guys do not have this. Yeah, there you go. It is absolutely screaming. So I'm just so pleased that we've managed to do this deal with you guys, Venus, because I think we're going to make a lot of money for a lot of franchisees that come on board, especially in these early days. And my final thing for you guys to take away is, in the UK now, we're so well respected by landlords in particular that we are looked at as an anchor tenant, because the amount of footfall that we can bring through the doors for, especially in retail, any shopping malls that are looking for ways to increase that footfall to then appeal to more shops and brands in the shopping mall. We are the #1 concept right now in the UK, and that's why you'll see that we've just opened up in some big shopping centres. You'll see another 10 to 15. Sorry.
Yes, I think it's the background of John's background. That's the new centre you have opened, right? I was talking.
Yeah, this one's in Telford.
Yes,
that's right, and you can see the press articles on this if you look about. Some people are so overwhelmed by the scale of this. Now, it's the bigger the better, but we can design and create the parks to even if it's a smaller level, to make sure you maximize the amount of customers you have in there and minimize the amount of staff that you need to operate that. So I think I've probably gone on a little bit more than I should have there, Venus. But as you can see, my passion is just enormous to make this a success, make flipout a global success. And I'm hoping that we can enter this market with some incredible franchisees and get to speak to as many of you guys as possible.
Absolutely, Rich. That was a very you defined it very well. And I think you being the franchisee yourself, so you have gone through the pain and then accordingly sort of coming over and understanding what the real business is about. So I think I really like that fact. And in India, I think what you mentioned about being the anchor. So just like maybe the Middle East and other parts of the world, there are malls coming up left, right, and center all over the places. So they need a differentiator. And having a convenience, having a McDonald's, all those are great, and those brands are here. But yes, I think a flip-out location would also be a very big differentiator. So I see this really working well for mall developers and mall owners, and having a location which acts as an anchor, gets the kids, gets the women, gets the family, and they're spending 2 hours, 3 hours there. So which again, every mall owner wants.
That's right, and also we are very affordable in terms of what we charge customers and the amount of activities they can do. I mean, if you look at our Telford site, there are I don't know, 10 to 12 different activities. And in the UK, if they were a standalone activity, you'd be charging almost the price that we charge for one entry to go in and use all of them over a two-hour period. And I think landlords really like that as well, because it's all about keeping your customers on site as long as possible. So all round, it just fits every criteria I think that you would be looking for as a franchisee, and that's why I went into it originally. You know, it's paying dividends for this, and ultimately we want to put Flipout on the map, and we are going to look to either float on the UK stock market, or we will be continuing our aggressive growth as we are now, and look to make further acquisitions in this sector. We see a huge future for it, and we obviously want India to be a big part of this. So I don't know, Venus, whether you wanted to maybe bring John into the fold now to talk about the international side and a bit more depth into the business.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rich. John, please come
Thanks,
in,
Rich.
I think, and give us a sense on everyone about the brand and what you're all about.
Sure. So my name's 𝐁𝐮𝐬𝐬𝐧𝐞𝐬𝐬. I've been with the business about 10 years. I live and breathe Flipout. And I'd echo a lot of Rich's comments that we're super excited about entering the India market. You know, we see a lot of opportunity globally. We've got growth in many different sectors at the moment. You know, there's more centers opening in Mexico at the moment, Australia. There's a development throughout Europe. There's a number of sites that are going to be opening over the next 5 years. We're expecting circa 20 sites. And with the population opportunity you have over in India, we're extremely excited over there. And you know, we have noted that there is a distinct lack of competition. And to get into the market now and become the #1 player is exactly what we want to achieve between us. And with your support and obviously bringing on trusted partners and franchisees to help us with that development. So yeah, we're super excited. I think with India, historically there was a slight problem with buildings for the height, right? So trampoline parks haven't necessarily blown up and grown across India because of the height restrictions. And you know, it's a similar case in the UK where there was a lot of just going back to the shopping centre scenario at the moment and how we've grown so effectively over the last few years and actually adapted our business model and evolved, is because of the amount of spaces that were coming up in these shopping centres, because of e-commerce and just the evolution of shopping centres. Typically, they were just strictly retail. And the way it's going now is that they want to introduce more footfall into the centres. They want to create more of a high street centre experience. And they want to have an all-encompassing experience into the centre. And Flipout fits that bill perfectly because we apply to all ages. We keep the parents very happy. The kids can go shopping at the same time. We're also very adaptable with the way that we can use the space. So we don't need 6 meters head height anymore. You know, where we can put trampolines in a site, we still will because kids love trampolines. But we can work with many multitude of different spaces. And at the moment, we've got 42 plus activities that we've installed within our centres across the globe. So essentially, we look at find a location, and we adapt to that location, and we look at the target demographic. You know, are we going for a certain age group, for instance? And we can look at all the different types of equipment that we can put in there. So it's partly that for the experience, to create the best experience for the family, also to make sure that kids keep coming back, so you give them enough variety and make it a really exciting experience. Obviously, with the as Rich mentioned, we offer like a 3D experience. So we've got ninja characters on the walls, we've got sound and lighting. When you walk in there, it's pure excitement, it's pure fun, and that's what we do. So, you know, the key really is getting the most footfall and the most capacity out of a space and utilizing that space. So the variety really helps with that, and it also gets the numbers up. So typically, I think, you know, we're looking at sort of the bigger the better generally, but around 1,500 square meters in a trampoline park would have been circa 100 capacity per hour. We can achieve 50% more with an FEC. So we can achieve 150 plus depending on what type of equipment we put in there. So obviously that helps for the experience, and it also helps for the amount of people we can get through. Because one of the challenges we've had with smaller sites in the past is that you're so busy on the weekend, you haven't got enough capacity. So it's all about capacity, and it's about driving that capacity and getting that up. So yeah, we found that the majority of contracts we're signing now are with high street retailers and shopping centres, and we hope that we can have a similar scenario going on in India, and you know, we've had some very good incentives as well, which has helped the growth. So that's something obviously you'll have to look into the local market, but I'm sure it's achievable there. We're achieving it in the UK, Europe, and further afield. So that's a bit of a sort of an overview on what we do in terms of the equipment. I mean, some of the examples we've got go-karts now, we've got mini golf, bumper cars, we've got large inflatable areas with assault courses on, we've got soft play for the smaller children, ninja tag, laser quest, interactive sports football pitches, synthetic ice rinks. I mean, the list goes on. So as you can see, it's a real experience that the kids get when they come along. I wanted to touch on the marketing. Marketing is very important to us, the reach and how we get out to the people.
Would you be sharing a presentation, like, so that people get to see the brand? Do we have something?
Sure. Yeah. I'm just rambling away. Sorry, guys. I will check that now. Is that sharing?
We can see your screen, but it's still not open. You need to open your. I guess you need to click on the slideshow. Yes.
So obviously, Rich has kindly taken us through the evolution of where we came from, where we are today. We pride ourselves on the evolution and looking forward and adapting to make sure that we're ahead of the game at all stages. And you know, just talking about the activities and where we're at with 42 activities and counting. Just some of the
John, your screen is still not up. It still says it's loading. I don't know why.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Now, do you have it now? Can you see it now?
No, maybe best thing would be to stop share and then reshare. That's typically kind of solves the problem.
Okay. Yeah. Apologies.
Do you want me to try, John?
Yeah, it might be easier, Matt. I've just tried again, so I'm not sure if that's. Is that sharing now?
Yes. Yes.
So we're 3 pages in, but yeah, this gives you a. This is, I believe this is Basingstoke. No, yeah, Basingstoke. So this is in a shopping centre. This was a fusion of originally trampolines, but now it's evolved more into an FEC. We've got some climbing walls there. We've got ninja tag, large inflatable area, and I think one of the things that landlords really like as well is the way that we can evolve and refurb throughout the lifetime of a lease as well. So we always keep things engaging. So you know, after 3, 4, 5 years, we might want to refresh a bit of equipment, or we might want to swap something out. So it's very interchangeable, and obviously that keeps the variety and also gives you another reason to remarket the business and re-engage people. So some of our bumper cars, these are extremely popular. The great thing I think about Flipout as opposed to general play centres is that play centres normally appeal to kids under the age of 8, and we really are a family entertainment business. We are for the whole family. You can enjoy the experiences with your children. I think the only thing that you wouldn't want to use with your kids is the soft play. But apart from that, everything you can go on. You can go on the ninja tag, you can go on the inflatables, you can go on the bumper cars, climbing. This is indoor synthetic ice called 𝐁𝐮𝐬𝐲𝐞𝐬𝐬. So a lot less to run than your typical ice. You know, obviously having an ice rink in India wouldn't be cheap, I wouldn't imagine, in terms of the energy costs. So this is synthetic ice, and we've got this in some other centres. This is interactive football. It's basically taking standard 5-a-side football but putting a twist on it and making it interactive. So it's scored, it's competitive. Again, it gives kids reasons to come back and want to be top of the leaderboard. We encourage competition in all of our parks as well. This is mini golf, so this is themes. You have multitude of different themes. We can do 9 to 18 holes, and every hole's an experience. And we've got a number of our centres with these as well. This is Ninja Tag. So this we're putting in most of our sites. It's fantastic for the multitude of different experiences. So in one area, you could have 20 to 25 different activities that the kids have to go through. And the great thing with this is you can use the heights. It looks amazing and excellent for capacity as well. So that's this whole area here that we're talking about. So there's slides, there's ball pits, there's all sorts of different activities that you can go through in there. This is a relatively recent addition, but extremely popular. These are the electronic e-carts. They're very safe and a lot of fun. And basically, again, the whole family can use them, but we're putting kart tracks into our centres now. We typically run them on 8-minute races. So throughout the 2-hour experience, you can get 100, 120 kids through there.
Just to say, John, with that particular experience, what's good about it is the cars have they have 3 different speeds. Normally in the UK, go-karting for children above the age of 12, and we offer a lot younger on those carts to give people a flavour for that. And it's been received. They are busy from the minute we open to the minute we close every day. So again, it's more about getting people involved, so all ages can use every activity that we've got in sight. I love the go-karts personally.
Yeah, they're great. The other good thing with the kart, we've actually got 2 sizes. So we've got a smaller size for the little kids, and we've actually got an extra large for the adults as well. So we do keep in stock the 2 different variations of the karts. So yeah, they're very popular. So when it comes to design, fit out and support, this is an important piece. The build and construction management and understanding how these things go together and getting them built on time, on budget, is one of the most important things when constructing your site and your flip out. And that's something, obviously, with 60 sites globally, we've got a lot of knowledge about. We've had some of the pitfalls and challenges over time, and we've ironed those out. So we do understand now how we can engineer the sites for customer flow experience, and understand where the equipment goes, and how it looks and feels, because it's very important to, when you walk into a flip out, to have that experience, to not have things blocked in the way and feel claustrophobic. It's a very open plan, exciting experience. It's a very visual experience as well. And there's a lot of time and effort goes into the design and the planning of a site. So just remind me where this one is, Matt.
That is one of the floors in Telford.
One of the floors in Telford, yeah. So you can see, so we'd typically engage a local architect to work with your team, and obviously we're here to support as well in terms of helping with the layouts. So once we've got the floor plan, we can then run through and we can look at, okay, where's the cafe going to be located? Where's the reception? And things like the party rooms. So that's something I haven't actually touched on yet, but we're massive on parties. 20-25% of our revenue, even more in some centres, is party revenue. And we want to be the best place to go for a party, basically. Flip out is where the kids want to go for a party. And we focus heavily on theming the party rooms. So we have a range of different theming opportunities that we've gone through. We've had like Frozen, we've got disco, we've got Vikings, we've got multitude of different themes, but they're heavily themed. They've got special lighting, seating, flooring, and the kids are just transported into a different world. It's a really immersive experience, the parties. And we have the party hose, party bags, and obviously they experience the park afterwards as well. So yeah, so this just gives you a bit of an idea of how we lay it out. So we've got soft play here, we've got a roller rink. This is the tag challenge that I was showing you just a minute ago. This is a competitive ninja assault course. Cannon area, this is a recent bit of equipment that basically you've got foam balls and guns, and the kids can shoot each other and shoot targets, and that's a lot of fun. And the Laser Quest arena. And yeah, so that gives you an overview on the build. We're just coming onto the marketing side now. So with the marketing, we have different pillars of marketing, and we understand that, you know, throughout the calendar year, you'll have different events and you'll have different, you know, things happening. It may be Christmas, it might be Halloween, Easter, you know, or such like. And we target each different event with a different ton of campaign, and that will go out to a multitude of different social media channels. So we have a very strong following on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and we work with different agencies, and obviously we've got our own in-house team as well in terms of, you know, pay-per-click, getting the likes up, the engagement, and making sure that, you know, when we launch specifically is to get to let people know we're there, and then ongoing marketing. But that's something that we can support with, and I'm sure that you guys from Fran Global are going to help locally as well. Yeah. But we've got all the infrastructure and the know-how and understanding how to target the right people, make sure we have re-engagement. Obviously, our systems as well, which Matt's going to go into more, have the they've got with those you can actually use the opportunity to re-engage people and invite them for their birthday party, for instance. So, you know, a month before you can invite them for their birthday and they can come down. The system allows to do that, so you can remarket through that as well. So that's it for my piece, guys. I'm going to pass you on to Matt. He's going to run through the operational support and some of the systems and the breakdown of how everything ticks. Thank you.
Nice to meet you all. So from our perspective, for flipout to be a success, we really need to deliver an unforgettable guest experience. And there's multiple facets to that. One of which is the product itself, which I hope speaks for itself. You know, there's a lot of time and effort being put into the development of how the venues feel and the equipment mix and the product mix. And then on the commercial side, maximizing that square footage, increasing the capacities whilst keeping the labor costs under control. A big part of the guest experience is how we run the facilities. And we believe that the park management teams that are on the sites, the boots on the ground, are a key part in that. So the systems that we fine-tuned over a period of time to try and enable the team on site to really focus on the guests and delivering that experience, and all of the things in the background that are really important that guests don't see happen as smoothly as possible. So if we just can move on, John, to the next slide. So of course, there's multiple layers to that. There's the onboarding, the training, and the support. And with each of those, that's relevant for a master franchise level, a franchisee level, and then also down at the park management team and the team below. So we've got a number of different systems in place, and depending on who it is that we're onboarding, whether it be franchisee or then the systems that exist for the park management teams and the team below, we've got different platforms to enable to do that. So the first one we've got, if we can move on the slide, please, John.
I did move it.
Yeah, thank you. When you come on board with us as a franchisee, we've got a blueprint of all of the things that need to happen from the very start of the journey with us to getting the park open. So that involves the design process of the park, the construction and project management, the procurement of the different elements that are going to be needed within the park outside of the main equipment. We have all of our different key system onboarding programs, ties in with the suppliers for things like insurance and lockers and different accounting softwares, the website host and building, any licenses that may be needed for your music licenses, your family entertainment licenses, your arcade licenses. There'll be lots of things that apply differently at a local level, but everything A to Z of what is needed and what's entailed in opening a park will be given to a franchisee, and we use this platform to project manage that and communicate, file management. Everything's all housed in this one space, and we work through it on the onboarding process week by week and assign the different tasks to franchisee level and our level, at the master franchisee level, so we can all work through it together. Can move on to the next slide, John. Of course, we've got an in-depth franchise operation manual that again will be given to franchisees when they onboard with us. That kind of sits separately to go through at your own speed, but everything within there links back to the system we just looked at a moment ago. So this is the content that exists, but every facet within this operations manual will be covered during the onboarding process in various breakaway sessions that we will house, but you've always got the manual to refer back to. On to the next one. So we have an operational system that allows for team member onboarding and team member training. So we build all this in the background, and then the programs that exist again at the different layers. So this one's for a CAFE team member. So when a CAFE team member joins the team, there's an onboarding and training program that exists, and of course this will need to be adapted at a local level and will be adapted at a local level, but it is all pre-populated so that the management team can work through and tick off the various aspects that need to be completed. So that's what it looks like from a back-end perspective. There's much more detail that sits behind that, but for the purpose of this, just a quick screenshot. And then next, John. So this is all run off an iPad on a park level. So when the guys are on site, they will be with their iPad, work through the program, tick off the various aspects on the list, read any documents that are attached to the training programs. It's all timestamped. You can get the signature there electronically, so it holds all the records, so we can see the matrix of who's done what and keep records of all the training, which is very important. And on to the next one. And then sitting behind all of that, there is a plethora of documentation, standard operating procedures, risk assessment templates, health and safety documents, a whole heap of stuff that sits in the background that all ties back into that system. So at the various relevant points when we're going through the training, the induction, these are the documents that are attached to all of those different lists. Health and safety is one of the foundations of the business. You know, people are trusting us with their children and their own self-safety and well-being. You know, when they're in our facilities at a very base level, we need to make sure the facilities are safe before we start layering on the guest experience element. So we've got a load of documentation that sits behind everything. On to the next one. And then we've also got the operational sheets that exist. So whether it's stuff relating to payroll, whether it's action plans, whether it's cash management, all of the relevant sheets, working sheets, we can provide in folders, pre-populated, ready to go, that again, the operational system will tie back into. One of the really cool features of the system we've got, it auto-populates on an automation the tasks that need to be done on a daily, a weekly, a monthly, an annual basis. So no longer do you need to remember to remind the general manager to complete task A, B, and C this week. It will automatically populate and show them this is what you've got to do today, this is what you've got to do tomorrow, this task is due next week. And we can set it up whereby if certain tasks are not completed, people get notifications. You know, without having to keep coming back into the system, what's done, what's not done. You can be automatically notified. We appreciate that different franchisees want to run the locations in different ways. Some franchisees want to be hands-on and work in the site and manage the shifts themselves. Others, it's for purely an investment, and they will visit the site infrequently. We've made sure we've set up a system whereby whether you're on the site and you're doing the actual tasks, it walks you through that. But likewise, if you're not on the site and you're relying on a park management team, you've got full visibility to see what is happening in the park if things are getting completed on time. Rota templates, we can help build those rota templates. It's a really important aspect of the business. It's one of the key controllables that exists on your profit and loss. We've worked hard again at making sure the equipment mix that goes into the facilities has a lower labor ratio, but we can help and advise on what those templates should look like. And again, so we can then task the management team with just working to set budgets from a labor perspective and just looking at a variance analysis to make sure it's on track and we're not going over budget. From a booking system point of view, we've got a partner that is the leader in the leisure industry for booking and POS. It provides a site level, an easy snapshot, so you can go in and have a quick look at a dashboard. Tells you on a day-by-day basis how many guests we've had booked in, the funds that have been received, the actual recognized revenue, how many people have been through the venue at the different times of the day. If we move on to the next one, John. And also a very top level overview to show you breakdowns of the different products, the different ticket types, memberships. We've got a big focus in the UK on memberships at the moment. We believe it's an important aspect of the business that over time will grow and grow and start to become a significant line on the P&L. So again, from a membership KPI perspective, there's just a quick dashboard there to show you where you're up to with your different churn levels. And then guest experience. So we've got, as part of the booking platform, it ties into GXS, which is our guest experience score. So it automates a quick survey that goes out to anyone that's booked, asks some fundamental questions about the experience, whether it be the equipment, the staff, the cleanliness of the facility, and then that will give us an overall score. You get a breakdown at a high level, but you can drill into that, and we do drill into that and get sentiment analysis. The platform automatically pulls out keywords and categorizes it for you, so we can see, okay, this venue does really well from a staff engagement perspective, but actually there's a problem with the cleanliness of the toilets, and it really helps us hone in and improve the operational performance on a site level, because we can at a glance see what guests are feeding back to us, and it's a very effective way of doing it and benchmarking the different scores across the platform. So like I say at the top, we believe guest experience is a really fundamental aspect of our business, and the product speaks for itself, and we just need to ensure that a site level, the team are delivering that for us. So I think that was the last one. We get onto Q&A, but we've got a whole range of systems that a franchisee level will help get the site open and then support the running of the business thereafter.
Thank you so much, Matt. I would now invite my colleague Nikita, because a lot of people are asking questions regarding what is the minimum area requirement, what is the capital requirement. So I think we have shared the overall different facets of the business. So we'll share a quick financial layout of since this business is not like a small capital business. So Nikita will kind of share with everyone here to get a sense on the capital modeling for India.
Thank you, Venus. Hi, Flipout team. And welcome everyone who has joined us on the call. Let me share the financials so that we can advise what the model has been created for the Indian market. In terms of the area requirement, as many have asked on the call, so we have considered the carpet areas, which would be the minimum requirement somewhere around 12,000 to 15,000 square feet. The franchise fee, we have kept it at roughly around 38,000 pounds. The fit out cost, which would include all the setup cost for the entire center, plus any civil works, the decor, the graffitis that are the, I think, major USP part of what the setup is for Flipout. And the kitchen, the F&B setup, we have taken it at roughly around 285,000 pounds. Equipment cost, which would be...
Nikita, let's share the Indian figures also so that people understand, because people in India will understand in Indian figures. Yeah.
Sure. The franchise fee would be for 40 lakh INR. The fit out cost would be roughly around 3 CR in Indian rupees. The equipment cost, which would include all the equipments in terms of their gamings and everything, would be roughly around 330,000 pounds, as around 3.5 CR in Indian rupees. The licenses and any other miscellaneous ancillary cost, which would be there into the model, is roughly around 70 to 72,000 pounds at around 75 lakh rupees in Indian currency. The inventories that would go as a capital requirement, which would be for the F&Bs, for gamings and everything that's required into the center, roughly around 28,000 pounds, around 30 lakh rupees INR. So when we talk about the entire capital requirement, which would go into the capex for the project, it would be around 750 to 780,000 pounds, which would be around 8 CR in Indian currency. Then would be any additional lease deposits and working capital requirements, which would be required for the first few months of the operations for the run. In terms of your revenue, we have our different revenues coming from your gaming tickets. Then there would be your F&B revenue, and also we have the party booking, as John has advised, because quite a percentage of our revenue comes from party booking. So in terms of a single person ticket size, we have considered it roughly around 1,500 rupees, that is around 15 pounds into the Indian market. When we speak about our expenses or our yearly revenue, so what we are projecting is that in the first year, which would be the kind of the growth phase for the flip out center in India, we are anticipating roughly around walk-ins for 4,000 to 5,000 children in the first year monthly. And then we are seeing a growth into the walk-ins at around 7,000 to 9,000 walk-ins in a month as well. So when we talk about our yearly revenues, in the first year, we are expecting at roughly around 7 lakh rupees INR, roughly around 670,000 pounds. When we talk about our EBITDA, excluding all the expenses, which would be your rentals, your salary, and also the royalties, that would be at 7% for the brand. We are seeing our monthly EBITDA at roughly around 20 to 25 lakh rupees in the first year as a monthly EBITDA, and 20 to 25,000 pounds. When we speak about these assumptions into the model, we are anticipating that the payback period for the investor would be roughly between 2 to 3 years of their period. So around 30 to 33 months should be the period where they can actually earn back the money they invested into the business.
Right. Thank you, Nikita.
Thank you.
I think there were some questions with regards to the information which you provided. So I think that we have answered for a lot many. Thank you. Any other questions? I think a lot of questions were asked. Rich, thank you so much. I think you answered them while we are doing the session. Thank you so much. I think there's one question which I think I can see coming up is, the competition. So I think you answered that. Rich, you want to this is one big question, although I think I see India being a very open market, especially in this category. But yes, there are children-oriented and play centers. And I know, our offering is, as you mentioned, I think John mentioned a very interesting thing, which is that the malls are going from retail to experience now. I think it's the same thing happening here also. So anything to give a sense to people, how do we deal with the competition?
Well, we have competition here in the UK. The same as a lot of the more developed markets in regards to family leisure. But it is one about being the size that we are, and two, and obviously getting into key locations, which obviously blocks the competition from getting there. Who we're a very recognized brand. I know we're not in India yet, but the speed that we're going to move, like we have in the UK, like we have in Australia, like we are now in Kuwait, like we have in Mexico, will mean that it'll be very hard for other players to get involved, because there can be competition there at the minute. Once we drive this forward, press starts to accelerate, more people recognize it. There are more competitors that are going to jump on board. Of course there are, but from our research and your local knowledge, Fran Global, we know that the market is very small out there at the minute compared to your population, and the market is wide open at the minute. It's as wide open as you could wish for of entering and taking in a brand that's successful in many other regions of the globe and bringing it into your country at the moment. So there's always going to be competitors, and competition stimulates innovation and it stimulates growth. And we are very good at that. All of us work very hard. We're always trying to think outside the box. You're always going to see new products coming up from us, and we'll always be there to try and support you, because we also love what we do as well. And we want to be the number one company out there doing that. And we are doing very well with it. So I think bring on the competition. That's fine.
Yeah. One note on the competition as well is this business is very much about the property and the locations, and a lot of these locations in shopping centres, they're big landlords, and the landlords require confidence, and they understand trading history. They don't necessarily want to start up someone that hasn't done it before, hasn't got the experience. So I think one of the reasons we get all the best properties is because of our experience, our trading history, and everything that we've run through today in terms of being able to operate and run and do it successfully. That's not something that can be learned overnight, and landlords understand that, and it's all about property for us. So it's in terms of competition, they've got to get the best property, and that's what we're really good at.
Absolutely. There's another good question from Shreyank. Thank you, Shreyank. Does our concept caters to corporate outings or focused on children only?
So, but both. I mean, our core original model was families with kids 5 to 13 years old, but now we've introduced the new product range as well, inclusive of bumper cars and roller rink and go-karting. It really lends itself well to the older demo, inclusive of team building and corporate packages. So yeah, absolutely. We often, at the moment in Telford, the latest venue, the adults seem to be enjoying it more than the kids. So yeah, 100%. There's also that to be tapped into.
And it also depends upon where the location is, right? Because there are certain locations in India which are very corporate heavy, and there I think you would have concepts which sort of engage with them, right, Matt?
Yeah, and that's where it comes, the design process at the very start is so crucial, and assessing the space and the demographic in that local area, because with so many different pieces of equipment available, we can pick and choose out of the 42 that we've currently got what fits that site and what we're trying to tailor it towards. So yeah, 100%.
Great. And there are some questions regarding the minimum investment and area. So I think Nikita did share that. So this kind of concept typically, if I open up 5,000 square feet, it just would not give us enough throughput to be able to have what you would call a meaningful business in terms of turnover. So for India, we are looking at least 12 to 15,000 square feet minimum to be able to build the center, and investment will be anywhere from 7 crores to about 8-9 crores. Again, depends upon where you are opening. And we can, once, I think you have my details. If you have any questions, if you want to continue this, we can always take you through details. But first, I think the first process is, this is a business where it'll be a long-term franchise contract. It's not a let's say it's a fairly large concept and large investment. So what we would want to do as a first step is to set up a call with yourself as a master franchisee. We would want to first kind of get a sense on who you are, where you're coming from, what location you have, what's your background. And then if it all works out, we will, of course, bring in the flip out team. It's a teamwork here. It's all about partnerships. And we are looking for partners who can build ideally multi-unit. But if you have a great location, we can start with 1 unit also. I think someone has commented, Kunal, Yeah, Kushal, your questions is regarding, so if you see the history of the brand, it is built on pure franchising. In fact, all the best brands you and I know are only based on franchising model. So from a core strategy standpoint, we don't want to indulge in joint ventures. We have a pure franchise strategy because that's how the brand has built across 6 countries, and it's still building. As you can see, they have a very strong system. So here we are connecting a strong brand, a strong concept, and a strong system with your capital and in your particular locality. So what you would call a global and a local concepts coming together. So that's what we want to build. I think we don't want to confuse ourselves or confuse anyone else. We're looking for franchise partners because that's the backbone of the brand. It's a system, and that's what we plan to bring to India. Fortunately, where we see ourselves in the market, there's a huge opportunity. There's a huge demand. In fact, we meet people who will say, Venus, get me this kind of a model, and we don't have those brands. So I think with Flipout, we are bringing this as a master franchise, so that even if we find single unit operators or multi-unit operators, we can engage with them rather than looking at a one big master for a region and so on and so forth. So that's our idea. More than happy to have a chat with anyone if you feel this is something which you would want to do. Anything to add?
Guys,
go ahead, John.
Well, yeah, I'd just like to add that if anyone wants to come and meet me in person, I'll be in Mumbai for the franchise show there. Happy to answer any questions face to face there as well.
Absolutely, yes. I think thank you so much, John, for adding to that. I should have mentioned it. Yes, we are looking forward to have you here in Mumbai. Mumbai is going to be a special show for us, and you will meet Flipout team over there. There's some more questions regarding equipment and location. So in India, we're looking at, of course, the metro, the top 5 metros and tier 1 cities. I think that's our first target because that's a ready market. There's a demand. There's an audience. So I think I would say your metro cities and your tier 1 cities, that will be our first preference. I think anyone from Flipout team wants to answer the questions regarding the maintenance of the equipment.
The maintenance?
Yes.
Yeah, I can answer that.
Go ahead, John.
So the ongoing maintenance of it. So essentially, we have a daily equipment check that runs through Jolt, and in the morning, a dedicated member of staff will go around and look at any of the equipment that needs maintaining. Generally check it. If it's okay, it will be ticked off and it's okay. If there's any issues, then a maintenance request will go in. That will get sent to management, and then obviously that will be sectioned off to be repaired. I mean, ongoing maintenance is something that has to be considered, but the equipment that we install is very robust, and obviously comes with a comprehensive operations manual to understanding. And as and where there's quick fixes on site, there's training involved to actually help the staff fix those things on site. Any larger issues will have to be go for a process, but it's all achievable. It's all there, and the support's there behind that.
Thank you so much, John. So, Abhimanyu, we are looking for what you would call a franchise-owned, franchise-operated model here. If you have a great location, we might be open to, let's say, a FICO model as well. But right now, our pure strategy remains franchise-owned, franchise-operated, because we don't want to open just 1 or 2 flip-outs. We want to open at least 50 of those across the country. And franchising is something which is going to sort of lead to that. So we want to really, build a franchise network, and happy to chat about it as needed. Okay. So I think we are at the top of the hour. So Flipout team, before we go, anything to add? Thank you so much. I think this was a great presentation. I learned a lot, as always.
Excellent.
I think we're always ready to help and answer any questions, and we will give our all in terms of trying to make this a success for every single one of the franchisees that you bring on board. But I can't stress enough that now is the time to look at moving before we start to grow, because obviously anyone that gets on board right now, they're going to get the pick of the bunch of some of the best sites out there. And that was the same as in the UK. So hopefully people have been engaged by this, but any more questions from anybody, Venus, we'll try and answer it around the clock. I know you've got different time zones, but I'm happy to not sleep for a while we've got this opportunity bubbling away.
I like that. Thank you so much, Rich. Matt, John, anything to add before we go? Thank you so much for presenting. This was great.
Thank you very much. I echo Richard's comments that always available, happy to help, and we're really excited about coming to India and growing throughout there. And wherever we've gone, we've taken the market share and being the biggest player. So we want to do the same in India. We will do the same in India. So thank you everyone
Yes.
for being involved on this webinar today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Flipout team. Thank you, Nikita, for sharing with all of us what the brand is about. I think it just, the whole concept and looks very, very exciting. We are very happy to work with you to be able to bring this to India and really engage and give our children, our young adults, and adults of any age a space where they can have fun, yet be active. And I think Rich did mention about that. In India, it's the same challenge we have. So building indoor spaces where you're not just eating, but actually being active is growing by the day. And I think, as Rich mentioned, this is the right time to enter this business. In 10 years, the market will be very different. So, and I think you, Flipout team has seen that happening in the UK with their own eyes and ears. So great. So thank you so much. So reach out to us. You have my numbers. And thanks again for your time, everyone. Harshika, back to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Flipout team, for this wonderful presentation, discussion about the brand Flipout. Friends, for more details about the brand, you can reach us on our hotline number 9717683838. You can also write us on feedback@franchiseindia.in. Franchise India tomorrow brings again a new brand come from the region of Delhi NCR, Norris, a premium quality dry fruit brand starting with the investment of 9 to 14 lakhs. For more details about this brand, you can call on our hotline number 9717683838. Also write us on feedback@franchiseindia.in. Today evening, Franchise India doing its Bharat Franchise Show. It's an evening series that we are doing, and we are presenting approx 4 to 5 brands who are leading in food. So if you're looking into some food business opportunity, do the registration link shared over the chat box. Also, you can call us on our hotline number. Thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. See you in the evening.
Thank you. Thank you.